I hope you guys learn a lot from this video. We're going to be repotting a bunch of cactus. So this is my assorted cactus garden. As you can see, it's all different kinds. It's really shallow. There's only probably about, I don't know, between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of dirt underneath a layer of rocks. I did it that way because I took these cuttings really late in the year and I didn't want to risk the roots becoming rotted. But they are getting quite big now, and I think it's time to give them all a new home with deeper soil. We are going to leave them together, some of them. We're going to plant them in 2 different planters, and they'll have really much more nice soil to grow in. We are filming this live from my kitchen, so bear with me on the lighting. It's getting dark outside, but I'll try to keep the lighting adequate so you can see what's going on and hopefully admire some of the beauty of the individual cacti. So just like the Euphorbia nerifolia, we're going to be planting quite a few of these in this dog bowl. But first, we've got to drill some holes and place our screens. So I'm going to take this and we're just going to drill 4 1-inch holes into the bottom of our pot here. I'll do that off camera. So we got our holes drilled. They're not super even, but you guys will be the only ones to know. Let's keep that a secret between us, please. So now we cut our screen, which is just screen for a window that was junk, but we're going to repurpose it, which is our little tip for saving the environment today. Is going to be reuse whatever you can. We're just going to cut this into 1-inch sections so they'll fit over the hole. And they don't have to be perfect, just so long as they cover the hole and leave a little extra on the sides. So we've got our screens in place now, and we're going to put just a little small layer of soil to keep them in place. Normally I would wire the screens in, which I'm sure we'll show you in a later video, but for these purposes I think just adding the soil will be enough to hold them in place. So our next step is going to be removing the rocks. We may not get every single rock out, but we are going to get as many as we can. Ow. Ouch. This guy has quite a few spikes on it. Not my favorite cactus right now. So that's what we're left with after the large rocks are gone. There's still small pebbles in here, but we got the big stuff out of the way. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different cacti and succulent varieties in here. They're not all gonna go in the dog bowl, but I'll take a moment and decide which ones I want together and which ones I'll separate, leave by themselves, and so forth. So I think I've made up my mind. I think we're gonna separate them into upright single stem cactus, like this one, which I believe is a Euphorbia trigonia. Ignore my pronunciation if you know better. This one, which I'm unsure of what it is at this time. We've got another Euphorbia nerifolia, but it's just a small cutting. Maybe some others. These two may end up in there, but the other variety are going to be ground dwelling. This is a type of stone crop. There's this Haworthia, again, pronunciation. I've got a hen and chick, which I may just take out altogether. I've got another pot of those, and some in the garden. They're actually cold hardy in Ohio. I don't know about this guy. He may go in a container by itself, as well as this prickly pear. I don't like having the ones that will sting you, for lack of better words. I don't like having those in a pot with other ones. So I guess we'll get started. The first one we'll take out is this one that I don't know the name of. We'll see what kind of roots these guys have on them after about a year, a little less than a year in this pot. Now this was a very small cutting. It was only about that big when I got it, and I planted it very late in the year, and that didn't give it a lot of time to set up roots. So it started out this year pretty unhealthy, but it turned around and put on a few inches of growth. I don't want to mess with the roots too much. As you can see, it's pretty small, but I am happy with it. So we'll take it as is. This Euphorbia trigonia seems to have a little bit more roots on it. Trying not to break them. Ooh. This one is extremely long, so we will cut that off. There we go. It's not very radial, which is a little disappointing. Not that it matters so much in cacti, but I like all my plants to have radial roots. It does have a start. Not bad for 1 year's growth. I think I got it. It was about that big and put on about that much growth. So I'm happy with that. The next one is our small Euphorbia nerifolia. It's got happy little roots. I think we'll try to plant it more upright instead of leaning like it was. But I'm happy with it. It just started to put on leaves for this year. I think it was too dry in this pot. They actually like quite a bit of moisture in their growing season. So we'll try to make them happy. We'll put these in here, knowing that we're going to raise the soil level some more. We'll just see how full that looks. I want the roots to spread out and have them grow substantially larger in this pot. So I don't want to crowd them too much. But I think it does need something else. I think having a clump of these, which are the short stone crop, I think having these in the pot will help add a layer of fullness to the planting. Instead of looking bare, it'll fill in around the rest of the plants. I think that'll look really nice. I'll add more dirt and get these planted. This soil is very rich for cacti. I wouldn't normally plant them in this substrate, but it's all I have on hand, and it seems to drain pretty nicely. First, we'll plant our nerifolia euphorbia. We want to get it nice and straightened out. So that should do it. I think it'll be much happier in this pot. This cactus, which I haven't identified yet. And lastly, we'll plant our clumps of stone crop. And we'll push some of these down. They're a little tall. Maybe even break some of the tips off. See if we can't get them to root in this potting soil. And that should do. I think I'll be happy with that in the future. We'll take some stones and put them around the base. But that's all for today's video. We're gonna repot the rest of these probably tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. I always have fun sharing my passion with other people. So if you do like this video, leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Lance's Plants. I'll keep you guys updated on everything going on in my garden. Thank you.